All right, let's get to my first guest of the evening. He's got a song out right now called Maze Running, representing the Lone Star State of Texas. He goes by the name of BlaccBenni. He's with me right now. What's good?
Yo, what's up? What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for being on tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for your time, man. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We definitely gonna talk about the Maze Running joint in a bit. But first things first, man. Talk about your journey as far as getting into being a hip hop artist. How did it start off for you?
Um, it started early, or real early with me from like the age of probably like 5 or 6. My uncle is actually he was a battle rapper at the time, and I have a twin brother, and we used to just go to all his shows and be on stage with him and stuff. So it started with me early, and then by the age of 13, um, me and my brother actually had this rap group called Outbreak or whatever, and we actually released a single on a local radio station. So it started real early with me. I was real in tune with music real early.
That's all. That's awesome, man. You know, it can't. You know, obviously, when you come from a family of musicians or artists,
Mhm.
you know, eventually, you know, it might get in. It might be something that you see yourself doing. So
Yeah.
as far as that predicament, what was the reaction when you told them, you know, I'm gonna do the music thing? What was their reaction?
Um, I mean, at first when I first started, I was actually in high school, so like I kind of try to balance school and music
Mm.
because at that time we was pretty me and my brother we were getting noticed, we were signing autographs and all that. So I didn't never like be like okay this is what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna do nothing else. It was never a situation like that. So my parents and my family and everything, they pretty much supported me because like I ain't just put my eggs in one basket. I mean, I do the music thing. We do the thing, and I love it to death. It started out early with me, so I love it to death. But I know not to put my all my eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? So I do music. I actually engineer. I actually do a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, my family they cool with it. They real cool with it. Everybody cool with it. They support it. Everybody cool with it.
So you are originally from Georgia,
Yes.
Whitesville, Georgia. You currently reside in Abilene, Texas. I'm
Yeah.
really starting to be familiar with Abilene, Texas, courtesy of a friend that's originally from Kentucky but moved back to Texas, moved back to that particular city recently, and that is
Mhm.
A.R. Green. Um,
Yeah.
so so shout out to the homie AR. So
Yes, sir.
I've
Shout out to him.
Yeah, so I've been interviewing some artists from that city in the last couple of weeks or so, and I'm very impressed with what I've been hearing from artists
Mhm.
in Abilene, Texas, and I've learned a lot about not just the artists but the city, and what artists have to go through just to fulfill their dream, you know, trying to make it out, break through somehow. Um,
Yeah.
so with you being from that city and you seeing all these talented hip hop artists, man, I mean, what's it like just being on the grind as an independent artist in Abilene, Texas, man? Talk about that.
Well, for me, it's kind of it's it's hard, but I think it's like any place, For one, it's kind of hard being when you're not actually from somewhere and you got to actually build up from the ground up. When you move here, you start over. So with that aspect is kind of hard. But what we do, what me, my brother, and my team do, we actually got our we actually offer those type of services to local artists. We offer studio service, video services. You can get a photo shoot. You can get artwork. You can get your website built. You can get your music promoted, marketed, all that through Creative Crew. We in the local area, we support pretty much all the local artists that actually linked up with us or whatever, like T Well, even AR Green, we actually did a Austin Green, we actually did a photo shoot for him. So like what we did was we came when we got here, we pretty much tried to give back, and give a service to the community to try to spread our brand and let people know we actually support your local area. So it's kind of that's kind of how it worked. It's been working out for us as far as with local support and stuff. So that's what we've been doing.
That's encouraging to hear, and it definitely shows that there are people out there in this city that wants to see artists succeed, that wants to see people
Mm-hmm.
thrive. So if every artist of every city have that mentality, have that same energy, I feel like things are gonna look up in the local music
Yeah.
community. So I like what I see from Abilene, Texas thus far. I definitely do. Um, obviously you come from a family of hip hop, obviously. Um, so who else would you consider some other artists, whether it's mainstream or independently, have inspired you as an artist?
With me it's like I'm in man. I go way, but I go back. I'm inspired by Outkast. Like I got put on that early. 8 Ball and MJG, UKG. I mean UGK. Who else? Ti, the old Ti, like 24. Rubber Band Man Ti. Let's see. Of course, Tupac. My mama was a real fan of Tupac, like hardcore fan of Tupac. She actually, like when he died, that was a sad time for me. She actually cried and everything. We had like we actually. I remember the day he died, so it's like Biggie, of course. Yeah, just most of the greats, man. Like I really study the greats. I mean, as far as I'm not against the younger generation, because I really listen. I listen to everything. I listen to No Cap, NBA YoungBoy, Wallo Rodriguez, Finesse Two Times, all of let's see, Lil Baby, the Baby, all of them. So it's a variety. I listen to a variety of music. So and all pretty much all of that pretty much inspired me to come up with what I come with. I take a little bit from pretty much from everything.
Definitely feel like the '90s just stood out. Obviously,
Hmm.
just Big Pac, and I
Hmm.
was more. I'm from the South as well. I grew up listening to the East Coast heavy, like Big,
Yeah,
Jay, Mobb Deep, CNN,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Just and as I got a little older, I started listening to Pac and Snoop and all
yeah.
sides. Hip hop is definitely growing. It's evolving, and I know people got issues with certain genres, subgenres per se, but
Yeah,
it is the most popular genre in music right now. It's just
yeah,
everywhere you go, you're gonna hear some element of hip hop.
yeah,
Commercials, all that. Just everything and
yeah,
anything from Hollywood to any other form of entertainment. You're gonna get a element of hip hop that's there. It's definitely influential, for sure.
yeah.
Um,
Definitely agree.
yeah. So now let's talk about this Maze Winning Joint. This is your latest single. Um,
Hmm.
it's available on all the platforms. It's actually your second release of the year. You released "Don't Stress" from earlier this year. But let's
Yeah.
talk about Maze Money Man. Talk about give us the story behind that particular track.
That record there, I kind of record because me when I'm in the studio, I'm usually in the studio by myself. Like since I'm an engineer, I actually record myself, mix and master everything myself. So usually in the studio by myself, and it was probably I recorded that song late, probably a late or maybe like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. type song, and I just was kind of like just trying to, because when I use music to vent, kind of, I guess you would say, and I basically just that song there is basically I got real personal on it, talking about some personal stuff and just venting, and it came out like way better than what I expected. Shout out to the producer King Lee boy that did the beat, and yeah, we put it together and it came out pretty dope.
Yeah, it's definitely a dope track, and it's definitely one of my favorite tracks from the Abilene, Texas era right now. So this is
Appreciate that, man.
definitely like this track. Maze Running from BlaccBenni. It's his latest track, latest single. Is on all the platforms right now. So go stream it, go buy it, go purchase it, go show your support for that. And show your support to the locals, the independent artists out there that's thriving, that's doing their thing for sure. Um, so we're getting to the last month of the summer, and then of course fall will be here by next month, obviously. What's next for BlaccBenni in the coming weeks and months? Are we expecting more music? Maybe some upcoming shows? What's next for BlaccBenni?
Actually, we actually releasing another single on August 19th. It's called "Dirty Sprite." It's produced by our in-house producer named Chop. So we actually releasing that on August 19th, and right after that, we releasing a visual to it. It's probably gonna be like a couple days after we're gonna release a visual to it, and pretty much right now we actually booking shows. So anyone that's interested in booking or anything, just hit up blackbenny@gmail.com, and we actually booking shows right now. As far as releases, I'm releasing a new mixtape probably in the next 2 months. It's called Uncle Bean Rice Part Two. We did part one like last year, but I don't put it on all streaming platforms. It's released on like the free platforms like Audio Mac and SoundCloud. So it'll be you can find that up there. It's called Uncle Ben Rice Part Two. It'll be out probably in the next 2 months. But that's pretty much it, man. I've just been working trying to stay consistent with putting out the music and singles. So expect hell of a lot of singles and visuals coming up. So that's what we got going on.
All right, respect, absolutely. So be on the lookout for that mixtape. It's coming. That's going to be on the Automatic SoundCloud sites. So stay tuned for that. And that's BlaccBenni, spelled BLACC Benny. That's BENNI at gmail.com. So, he's got the collaborations. He's open for shows. He's looking for
Definitely.
some opportunities out there. So hit him in the emails, man. So hit him in the emails, and he's ready to work. He's ready to work.
Definitely. Definitely.
Uh,
Definitely.
so a little bit earlier, you mentioned that you are an engineer. Obviously, you got the
Mm-hmm.
Creative Crew Studios going, and there's a lot of artists that usually just record music and rely on others for beats and engineering, mix, mastering tracks, things like that. Was it like for you to like be more control of your music as far as the engineer side of things?
For me, it's better that way because I can control my sound. Like I'm real picky about how my voice sound, and how my music come out. I used to go to all the other engineers at the bigger studios. Like I go out of town, go to the studio, stuff like that, and I'm in there for hours and hours and paying a whole bunch of money, and I never get the sound that I want or that I envision for the song. So I end up just doing it, start doing it for myself, and I've been doing it for about maybe 8 years now, just learning everything and actually shadowing other engineers and working with them and learning stuff. So yeah, I feel like for me, it works out better for me because I feel like I'm the only one that can get my sound like how I want it, how I envision it. And it's a couple other producers I mean a couple other engineers I work with on my team or whatever. I'll let them mix my music, but they it's probably like two of them at most, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not opposed to working with nobody else or nothing like that, but it's like I'd rather do it myself because I just feel better about it. So
I definitely can respect that for sure. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's your track.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's your joint, it's your vision, your audio vision. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, I mean, it is no disrespect whatsoever. It's people approach things differently, and
yeah,
some
yeah,
and some
definitely,
people are willing to go the route that you are going. So at least trying to make sure that vision comes to fruition at the end of the day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I definitely respect any artist that's willing to, and then that's nothing wrong asking for help, especially if you're an
no, no,
independent
no,
artist. But but then some people willing to go this route, and as far as being able, be control of their music a little bit more, and I respect that. I respect that.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm joined with the homie BlaccBenni. He's got new music on the way. He's got a new mixtape on the way as well. So yeah, so tune in to his new music and new mixtape and everything, and to fellow artists out there in the Abilene, Texas area, or just anywhere who's just visiting Abilene. If you're looking for some engineer assistance, he's your guy. BlaccBenni is in
Yeah,
Creative Crew
definitely,
Studios. They got you covered.
definitely,
Uh, so so
definitely.
so get in touch with the homie BlaccBenni, and he'll help make your music sound good, pretty much.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. Got
yeah, so it's teamwork make the dream work, as people like to say. Uh,
definitely.
yeah, so it's great having you on the show, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem.
Join us, chat. Make sure you stream the latest joint Maze Running. That's available on all the platforms. And just keep an eye on more things from um, Abilene, Texas, man. They got an incredible hip hop scene there, and just stay tuned with it and keep supporting these artists. They definitely appreciate it. I appreciate you being on the show tonight. Keep doing your thing. I look forward to hearing more music and see what's next for you. I appreciate your time being on the show this evening.
Definitely. I appreciate your time too, and definitely appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate it.